The very first dress I designed, I was about 12 years old. It was a pink dress with a camel collar. And it was for my very first party that I made it, cut out the pattern and styled it myself. The outfit for Derby Day is really a clash of colours. Like, we've decided that we wanted to go for the green, the lovely bright green put back with the lavender. Beautiful hand embroideries all over the skirt, a beautiful cotton voile feeling to it. And again, it's put back in a different way. Rather than as a traditional suiting styling, we've put it back with a classic piece of knitwear, and you can wear it with a twin set or without, but it's a different way of looking at it.
For those of you that love fashion, you've got a part to play in our fashion competition, which we're running all this week. Well, at least for the major 3 days, the first 3 days. And Lynn Talbot will be catching up with the designers at the end of each day. But it is a simple competition. You just need to call the number 1902 555 966. Select the outfit of your choice for the day. Call the number and tell us why you like that outfit. It's pretty simple, and the prizes are terrific. A weekend for two to Sydney, courtesy of Qantas, and then an indulgent trip away to the Yarra Valley, courtesy of Domaine Chandon, and thanks to L'Oreal for some spending money and a gift pack. So there you have it, a terrific competition. One of two we're running this week, so make sure you're a part of it. Race 5 is fast approaching. Pete and Jenna in the mounting yard. Hi, guys.
Thank you, Sandra. Yes, and with us in the mounting yard, the horses, and we might see the Oaks favourite after this race, because it is always a very good guide for the Oaks.
It's a great guide, so look out for those.
Let's have a look at them. Ponton Fly, she may very well be the Oaks favourite after this race. Thought she looked terrific in the mounting yard too. Damien Oliver, the rider for Tommy Hughes Jr.
Yes, her coat's in great nick, isn't
Absolutely.
it, Peter? A poor run there in the Edward Manifold here at Flemington 2 starts ago, but may have been forgiven there for the greasy sort of conditions on that day. I think she's got a good chance.
Now, number 2 is not in the mounting yard yet, Donna Dior, so we'll go to 3 Dashing Granada, Patrick Payne, the rider.
She's had no luck at her last 3 starts, this horse. She's due for a change of luck and could definitely improve here. She's well drawn and good jockey on board.
Good each way odds too at $12.50 on Super Tab, down to the Freedman runner, and that is number 4, Blab. Chrissy Muntz, the rider. Stable's a bit confident here.
Yes, she looks terrific in the mounting yard too, Peter. No luck at all at Caulfield, and she can pull a little bit. So over the 2,000, that's my only concern for her, but she's got the ability and she's probably left there with some chance.
10th was my selection in the race, Jen, number 5, but I didn't like the odds that she came up on the tape, but nonetheless her run at Caulfield was good, and then Moonee Valley was very good too. Peter Merton's in the saddle.
She was getting held up there at Moonee Valley around about the 500-metre mark, and she kicked, and I thought she did a pretty good job there. She's a very good filly. The 2,000 metres does look like it'll suit her down to the ground.
Now, what about this little grey girl that you like, number 6, Shelburne Lass, Darren Beedman, the rider for Nigel Blackiston?
Well, nicely drawn here in barrier 3, and her last start, as I said, she worked extremely hard. I thought it was a great run there and should top her off for this race. 7
is Lolita Star. Stephen Baster has already tasted success, but it's got a wide gate.
Well, I liked her run last start, Peter, when she won at Caulfield. I thought it was a good effort there. The distance should suit her down to the ground. She's got to be given some chance, although it is a bit tougher for her here today.
And I reckon the Hong Kongies watching today would probably be looking at Lang Kwai Fong, number 9, with Karen McAvoy aboard.
Well, this horse won on a slow track at Seymour. I think she's probably better on the drive, but it's a little bit harder for her here, and I'd say at best a place chance for her.
Now, I think we might be able to go back and have a look at number 2, Donna Dior, because she is just in the mounting yard now. Justin Sheehan is the rider and Bede Murray is the trainer. Well, they're a pretty good combination, because they've got Universal Prince coming up a little bit later on in the Amy Victoria Derby. And didn't this horse win impressively at Moonee Valley? Just kicked right away over the final stages.
And probably had a little excuse there too at Caulfield, Peter, because she led and it was sort of set up for the horses running on that day. I think the distance will suit her. If she can relax here, I think she will, and she's there with some each-way chance in the race.
OK, then, well, we'll try and pick her up in just a moment, but in the meantime, we might have a look at the tote figures as they stand for race 5 on the card with Dan Malicki.
Ponton Fly at $10, a lot of chances. Donna Dior $9.70, Dashing Granada $12, Blab in excess of $10, Tanith at $4.60, Shelburne Lass at $5.20, $16 Leader Star, and then you're getting out to some bigger odds after that. 19 She's a Pretender, $13 Land Kwai Fong, and $14 for number 12, which is Love Lawn. $30 for number 14, Curvaceous. So that's the look at the Wakeful Stakes on the tote. I get the impression there's a bit of money for something. Tim Gossage in the ring. The punters unleashing on something.
You're well connected, Dan. Yes, Shelburne Lass, they've jumped out of the trees to back this one. This is easily the best back horse so far today. At the moment, it's about 4-1 on the tote. You can't get anything like that in the ring. It is clearly the best back runner here today, and Shelburne Lass is going to jump a clear-cut favourite. Plenty of money, Pete.
Thank you, Tim Gossage in the betting ring. The selections in the Qantas Wakeful Stakes: Shelburne Lass from Jenny Chapman, Tanith from Let's See, myself and Gary, Blab from Richard Friedman, Dashing Granada from Dan Malicki. It is a pretty interesting race, and we'll get the thoughts of Roy Higgins in just a moment. There's the map, 2,000 metres. Now, I've got a fairly big field here. It is 16 running. They have got a long run to the first turn, but still in all, Roy, by the time they get to the 1400, there could be 1 or 2 of these fillies posted.
Oh, yes, obviously don't. Just because you've got a long run, sometimes that can be worse for you, yes, because they can see you coming over and they just kick up on your inside. And if you're out on a wing, you can't jump over them. You've got to stay there. So, look, I always say, give me barrier 1 from the Warrnambool to Melbourne bike race. That'll do me.
Exactly right. Now, there's Donna Dior. We were going to have a look at her. And what did you make of her appearance?
She was late into the yard. Yes. She's a lovely big strong mare. Very good win at Moonee Valley recently. She has trained on. Couldn't falter in any way. I marked the 5 Tanith on top. I thought her run recently at Moonee Valley very unlucky. Gee, she's an improving type of filly, this one. She's on track for the Oaks. She looked excellent. Here's one for you at a bit of value. Number 8, She's a Pretender from the JB Cummings camp by Dane Hill. This one's on track for the Oaks. He looked as though he's primed to perfection. She's only won a maiden. She had no luck at all in the 1,000 guineas at Caulfield. Put her into your multiples. Of the others, certainly number 6, Shelburne Lass, and number 7, Lolita Star with the other 2. I marked them 5, 8, 6 and 7.
Roy, stay with us for a moment because there is some big news developing here at Flemington. We'll find out about that in a moment. First of all, Tim Gossage in the betting ring. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Pete, bit of money late now for Tanith, but Shelburne Lass, the big punters are moving in. They're taking any price Shelburne Lass in this.
OK, Shelburne Lass, the one they're coming for. Now, Roy Higgins, as they are behind the gates and moving in for the Wakeful, the situation with Scalato, as you understand it, what's going on?
Well, Clary Connors has been in with the stewards with his own bet. At this stage, no state. The chief steward, Mr. Des Gleeson, is going to make a statement straight after this race. I believe the onus is thrown back onto Clary Connors, whether he runs the colt or not, but a decision straight after this race, which is only, what, 3/4 an hour away from the Derby. So it's a bit of hype around here, I can assure you.
Yeah, well, I can't remember anything like this before.
I can't. See, apparently the swab they took this morning, or the blood sample, that probably must have been non-conclusive, because they said if you want to run him, you're at your own risk.
OK, well, we'll keep an eye on that situation. Thanks, Roy. They're getting set here for the Qantas Wakeful Stakes. Traditional lead up to the Oaks. Let's get the thoughts of Gary Willits as they fill the gates over by the Maribyrnong River.
Yes, another tough race, Peter, and these fillies are all moving in. They all look very well. This is a great race for a line for the Oaks to come up on Thursday. And the one that I liked was number 5, Tanith. It received 1.5 kilos off Ponton Flyer and these horses for their form. Ponton Flyer, I thought, ran home quite well in the 1,000 guineas, Dan.
Yes, she did. She's
2,000.
Generally accepted that she's better on a drier track, but I'm sure the 2,000 metres would help her cause today.
Yes. And, it's a good run down here. As long as they can sort of work over and they're not working too hard, these horses. The key to this race is you've just got to get that little bit of cover. A lot of these horses having their first try over 2,000 metres. And that's when you can see if they can stay. And then, of course, they've got to jump up to 2,500 on Thursday in the Oaks. So look for the ones running home for you ladies coming out on Oaks Day, or otherwise watch it on 10 on Thursday.
And Donna Dior's ready. Scale the Heights moves in, and they'll be just about set to go. Well-backed favourite Shelburne Lass from Tanith and Donna Dior. Wakeful Stakes, Group 2, sponsored by Qantas, of $200,000. And they're racing. Scale the Heights a bit slow. Curvaceous, Ponton Flyer, Farina, Lolita Star all getting back in the early part. Jumping well with Shelburne Lass, who pushes through the grey on the inside of Lan Kwai Fong, and Donna Dior 3 out. Tanith is pretty handy today. It's about 7th, but it's 4 or 5 wide around Blab, and she's a pretender. And over on the inside was Dashing Granada trying to hold her forward spot. And then Rinsality Polar Sky in the green colours midfield. Then Ponton Flyer from Farina. Getting back Scale the Heights, it's third last, 3 deep, and then Curvaceous. And Lolita Star dropped out of it early. It's last on settling, about 10 lengths off the leader, Donna Dior. Lovelorn working its way up now to get into a clear second, and Lan Kwai Fong ends up third on the inside. A little wider was Chicky pressing forward, but it is 3 deep, and between runners was Blab. Tanith is also travelling very wide at the moment. Over on the inside was Shelburne Lass, and just ahead of it was She's a Pretender, about 3 off the fence. Tanith must be 4 deep. Then Rinsality, 2 lengths to Polar Sky, Dashing Granada, Scale the Heights. 1.5 to Farina, then Curvaceous 3 deep. Ponton Flyer back to second last, and Lolita Star is at the tail of the field and a good 10 lengths from the leader. Donna Dior with the inside running, narrowly in front of Lovelorn. Chicky's always been wide out. Blab right there 4th, and Lan Kwai Fong 5th on the inside. Tanith has had a very tough run. It's been 3 and 4 wide the whole way. Then She's the Pretender, the grey Shelburne Lass trying to get into the clear. Polar Sky hard ridden, then Curvaceous, Dashing Granada. Ponton Flyers second last on the rails, turning for home. 500 to go. Donna Dior, Lovelorn. Blab joins in, 3 out. 4 wide was Tanith, and then Shelburne Lass. Lan Kwai Fong looking for a run. Donna Dior gone. Tanith moved up to Blab. Here comes Shelburne Lass. Lan Kwai Fong getting a run back to the inside. Tanith in front. Shelburne Lass a length away but closing. Lan Kwai Fong getting up along the inside. Tanith in front. Shelburne Lass. Lolita Star late's going to challenge. Shelburne Lass, Lan Kwai Fong, and Lolita Star. Lolita Star swamping him on the outside, and she draws away and wins well. Brilliant ride. Lolita Star the winner. Second home Lan Kwai Fong. Stable Quinella. Third may have been Tanith from Shelburne Lass, and then Dashing Granada from Lovelorn and Blab. Further back then to Farina from Ponton Flyer. Never got into it. Curvaceous, Rinsality, Donna Dior, and then came She's a Pretender with Scale the Heights, Polar Sky, and Chicky at the tail of the field. And Peter Hayes has produced the Quinella. He's with Mark Aston.
Yes, David, congratulations, one of the owners of Lolita Star. What a terrific feeling for you.
We're pretty happy with all of that. Yeah,
there seems to be a lot of hugging and kissing going on in the background.
A lot of people come from interstate. It was a lot of fun. We won last start at Caulfield. No one thought it could win today.
What an exciting time for you. Congratulations.
No.
Enjoyed the win. It was a terrific win.
We're
coming right down the outside.
Yeah, ran on the rails there, and about 200 ago they whipped it out. Did a great job.
Congratulations. Well done. Enjoy the night.
Okay, thanks, mate.
Yeah, I'm sure he will enjoy the night well. I would suggest that that's the Oaks favourite now, Lolita Star. She's been strong at both her last 2 starts, 2000. And what a ride from Stephen Basta. From the tail of the field, he refused to hook around a horse, weaved the passage through on the inside, and it's a clear win. That photo is for third. Third goes to Tanith, number 5. So the official numbers are 795. Shelburne Lass had every chance, I thought, probably just didn't get the 2,000 metres. Garrett's run 4th, and 5th in number 3, which was Dashing Granada. But from an Oaks point of view, clearly the best run was the winner. Strong at the end. She'll get 2,500, no doubts. Look at the way she closes on her stablemate, who gets up on the fence, Lan Kwai Fong. At this stage, Tanith, who was an almighty run, three wide the whole way, is in front, but look at Lolita Star finishing.
Just goes right over the top of them, and that's what you want. Like now, she'll run the extra distance out. Got another 300 to run on Thursday week, and boy, she's going to be very hard to beat in the Oaks. Well, there's Johnny Letts with the smiling jockey.
Yeah, Stevie Basta, what a run, Steve. Barrier 18 and come up on the running rail on the inside.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, Letty. We didn't want to over-race, so we didn't want to dig her forward. And I dropped my hands coming out of the gates, and she just totally dropped the bit and put me last. I was a bit surprised to be there, but we were coming through the home turn, tracking up Ponton Flyer and Dashing Granada, and I was quite happy with where I was. And I thought she runs home, runs a nice place. Well, it's a good win, but she really won well. And most impressive Oaks trial.
You'll be looking for the Oaks on Thursday now, Stevie.
Oh, she's going to be hard to beat, Letty.
Yeah, and she went to sleep under you, didn't she? Beautifully.
She was beautiful. She was absolutely beautiful.
Stevie, it was a great ride. And when you see it, you drew barrier 18, and when you come up on the inside rail, I thought, gee, you must have gone back to last. You snagged out very quickly, and yeah, she just relaxed under you and went to sleep.
Yeah, it's good because it shows that the track's racing even. You know, they've come from everywhere today, and people were worried about patterns and that, and she's proved them wrong.
She's proved them wrong. Congratulations, Stevie, and good luck in the Oaks on Thursday. I think you've got a great chance in here, Neil. I think you're on the favourite.
Johnny Letts out there with Stephen Baxter, and Peter Hayes, you've got a big smile on your face, and so you should. She's the Oaks favourite now.
She was very exciting. I mean, we were absolutely thrilled with her when she got to a mile a quarter at Caulfield. And when we drew 18 today and the bias was sort of against us, and we thought, oh gee, what are we going to do? We thought, well, we've got to ride her back because we want something left there for Oaks Day. So we just asked Steve to ride her back and ride her for a bit of luck, and she was outstanding. That's exactly what the dad used to do, isn't it? You know, that's exactly what he used to do. So
and of course the dad was the '94 Melbourne Cup winner.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah. So does that give you even more satisfaction?
Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, you know, we've been thrilled with the Journs, and they're just coming as the distance are getting out now. They're getting better and better.
2,500 is going to be no problem the way she hit the line today.
No problem at all.
You deserve to be smiling. Well done.
Thank you.
Peter Hayes, the winning trainer, and there is the Oaks favourite, Lolita Star. And we're looking now at the result, the full field result after the Qantas Wakeful Stakes, and we'll try and let you know exactly where these horses have finished. And that's the finishing order. Lolita Star defeating Lang Kwai Fong. Tanith, some sort of run, 3 and 4 wide all the way. Shelbourne Lass loomed up, didn't finish off the race in the last 250 metres, all the way down to Chicky, which travelled wide up near the lead and dropped out in the straight. So there is the Oaks favourite returning to scale. Terrific ride by Stephen Baxter. Wide barriers for Darren Gauci and Stephen Baxter today, and they've overcome them. 7 Lolita Star is the winner of the Qantas Wakeful Stakes. We'll head to a break and come back with the correct weight, signal and dividends wherever you're watching around Australia or around the world. Hope you're enjoying Amy Derby Day. Scott Vickers-Willis from VRC Marketing, and he's saying that he expects it to be a record crowd, 80,000 plus people. It looks as though we're here at Flemington today to witness the first day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival for 2000. There aren't too many spare stretches of lawn there. Now, let's have a look at this. This is the start, and there is the filly that eventually won the race coming out of gate number 18, Lolita Star, and it was one from the outside. Last out, Jen, and first home.
Peter, you look back at her run at Caulfield, it was a pretty good effort there. She won by 3.5 lengths going away, and you knew that the distance was probably not going to be a problem to her. The only doubt was the class in this race.
And you can see what Roy Higgins was talking about. Interesting that some of those horses actually did get posted. Tanith was one of them, just couldn't see the rail, whereas Stevie Baxter just hauled straight across the back of them, found the fence straight away, and got the short way home. There is correct weight. Weight is right after the running of race 5. Just a reminder, there is some drama happening here at Flemington regarding the Derby favourite Scalato in the next race. Now, we believe that there is going to be some sort of announcement coming from the stewards as to whether the horse has returned some sort of irregularity in a test from this morning. We'll find out some more shortly. Meantime, the important business of the dividends of race 5 with Dan.
Number 7, Lolita Star, 16.90 and 4.70. 9, Lang Kwai Fong, 4.30. Tanith third, $1.90. Peter Hayes Quinella, 95.60. Exacta, 216.40. The trifecta, $1,039.10. Running double, 17 into 7, $294.90. Well, it'll be party time for the bookies, Tim Gossage. Another double-figure odds winner, Lolita Star. Good value. Again, most punters, by the sounds of it, getting put off by the wide draw and the fact she got back in the field.
Yeah, Dan, this time last year in the first on Derby Day, they were absolutely bleeding the bookies, but they are celebrating at the moment. And yes, the punters left the money certainly in the bookies' bags with Shelbourne Lass, the plunge going astray, and they took no money on Lolita Star, so that's a good result for them. Now, there is some conjecture, as Peter has mentioned, about the Scalato and whether it's going to start, and the bookmakers are very apprehensive, and they're letting the punters on Scalato. It's a little bit longer than you would have thought, but I can tell you that Universal Prince, $8.60 on the tote, less than half that in the ring, so you never know what's going to happen. We're waiting that announcement, Pete, but at the moment the bookies are letting them on Scalato.
Yes, well, everyone's waiting at the moment, Tim, and here are the dividends as they stand on the Amy Victoria Derby. Scalato, a warm favourite, came up even shorter than that. 320 on Super Tab, 370 in Queensland, 320 in New South Wales. Universal Prince has got out to good odds at $8.50. Falls the Shadow down at number 8 is still excellent value at $15.90. Sale of Century will be running on hard at the end of the race, $7.80. Show a Heart up the top at $12, also well in it. Hit the Roof is at $13, and down to number 14, Bush Padre. This horse out of the Freedman stable. As we said to Richard this morning, they have had a lean carnival. But wouldn't this be some sort of consolation, Jen? And the way he won at Geelong is not without a hope.
Not out of it at all, Peter. It was a good effort there. He's only had a few runs, this horse, but what he has done and how he's improved certainly comes into this race.
Now, you've been going to the races for a long time, and I mean that in the nicest possible way, so don't look at me like that. Have you ever heard of this situation before where the stewards have said to Clary Connors, well, be it on your head, you start him, and there's something wrong, you cop the consequences?
Never, ever, Peter, and I'm quite amazed, and yet we're still waiting to hear officially what's going to happen with this horse, so as soon as we know, we'll let you know.
Well, it's important for us too, because there you can see 4 of us have gone for Scalato, the Caulfield Guineas winner and the Amy Vars winner, Sale of Century from Jennifer and Dan Malicki. Well, why don't we have a look at the predictor and see what the Strathfield race predictor has come up with here in race number 6, the Amy Victoria Derby. Now, the important factor here, Jen, is this start. Derbies have been won and lost at starts, but of course, at the 2,500 metres, they've only got a 200-metre run to the first turn, and then they get around to this long finish.
Yes, it'll be all interesting when they come to that first turn, what is going to happen there, especially if Scalato runs, of course, because he's drawn out wide.
Well, the predictor says Scalato from Universal Prince and Sale of Century, 2, 3 and 9, the trifecta there. We have had a lot of emails, Jen. I should explain that the track is surveyed by a laser, and then the computer is fed with form, weather, track conditions, something like we do, and of course it hopefully comes up with the winner. So let's see what happens before the Amy Victoria Derby. Time now for the presentation, and let's join the Victorian General Manager of Qantas Airways Limited, Mr. Stephen Thompson, after the Qantas Wakeful Stakes.
Thank you, Rob. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Qantas Airways, may I say how delighted we are to once again be sponsoring the Qantas Wakeful Stakes. Our sponsorship of the Wakeful Stakes continues a long and happy association between Qantas Airways and the VRC. Each year at Qantas we bring in many people from around Australia and indeed overseas for this magnificent carnival, and this year has certainly been no exception. Last year the carnival coincided with a significant milestone for Qantas, when we were the first airline to commence flying non-stop services between Melbourne and Los Angeles. This year, the carnival coincides with another milestone, when in a few days' time, Qantas will celebrate its 80th birthday. That's 80 years of providing a quality product, quality service, and above all, value for money for the Australian travelling public. However, today, all of the celebrations are with the winning connections and owners and jockey and trainer of the Leader Star. And I'd like to ask Mr. David Brooks to the microphone. Thank you.
Congratulations to the winning connections. They might be accepting another trophy on Thursday. Lolita Star, most impressive in race 5, the Qantas Wakeful Stakes. Now let's have a look at the dividends from earlier in the day, and it was a wipeout for the punters in the first with the numbers 10, 9 and 15. Inspire Larry Cassidy from Barrier 1, 93.70 and 21.50. Sporting Scribe 5.10, Neptune Shirley 5.40, and the Super Tab trifecta in excess of $25,000. Second race on the program, and this was up the straight, and impressive victory by St Petersburg. First of a winning double for the Hayes stable, $10.80 and $2.70. Just collaring Cosset right on the line at $1.40. Sheffield down the grandstand rail, third $1.90, and the Quinella was $17.50. On to the third race on the card, and victory here went to Brew, and he's raced himself right into calculations for the Foster's Melbourne Cup on Tuesday, dropping 7.5 kilos on his performance today. He paid $4.80 and $1.90. Mr. Nelson paid $3.40, and Yama $1.90, the Quinella $29.80. And then in race 4, it was Super Sequel. As you can see, the bookmakers have all monies at the moment, with the exception of Brew, 24.20 and 5.70. It's Platonic, $1.70. Nova Claus, $2.50 in the trifecta on race 4, paid $651.40. Well, I can tell you the drama is continuing here at Flemington with the situation regarding Scalato, the Derby favourite. The press have been gathering around the stewards' room. We're expecting an announcement shortly, and I think we might be able to take you now to Mark Aston, who has Clary Connors with him.
Clary, what's happened?
The stewards deciding.
And what do you feel they will decide?
I'm hoping for the best.
And what have you said to them?
I just said that we've done everything within the rules of racing, and whatever the horse has shown in his urine and is out of character to any horse I've ever had. And the horse was presented to the races today, under the same circumstances of thousands of other horses I've ever raced. Won Guineas here last autumn, and the horse is exactly the same situation. And this horse has got a strange metabolism for some reason, and so that's the situation at this stage.
Are you confident at this stage that Scalata will take his place in the Derby?
No comment.
Well, there you go. Clary Connors with Mark Oaston. This is unbelievable drama. Jen, this is reminiscent, and I know it's not the Foster's Melbourne Cup, but all the drama that went on before the Melbourne Cup in 1969 with Big Faloo, which was favourite for the race and was taken out 39 minutes before the Melbourne Cup back then because of an irregularity. Now, we don't know what's going on here at the moment. The signs are not good for Scalata, I've got to say.
No, how disappointing for Connections, though. At this stage, we don't know whether he's running or he's not running, but, you know, he's a terrific horse. It'd be a shame if he couldn't take his place.
These are the pictures coming from outside the stewards' room at the moment. We will keep you up to date. Will the Derby favourite be a scratching? With the race due at 2:40, it is just 18 minutes away, and we still don't know whether Scalata will be running. The Amy Victoria Derby at 2:40. Let's head back to Sandra Sully in the marquee. Sandra, as soon as we hear anything, we'll bring you the news.
Thanks, Peter. Yes, and a drama-filled day, loads of controversy, certainly makes for, well, a lot of attention. Focus this afternoon on the big one, the race not too far away. Tim Webster,
Sandra Sully, yes.
Have I got Peter, have I?
No, I'm here.
Oh, I've got Tim, the magic of live television. Don't you love it? How are you going, Tim? Who have you been meeting up with today?
Well, I've had a good time today, yes. I, as you know, go for a wander around the place, and I found Shane Bourne and all sorts of interesting people. You just got to take a camera and a microphone anywhere you go, and the whole of the world comes to Melbourne, doesn't it, as you know, during this week. So, yeah, it's terrific, and the weather has held off as well. And by the way, you can go and relax now, but remember, you're driving.
I know we're taking it in turns, but whose idea was that this year?
Yours.
Bye,
See you
have
later.
a great afternoon. See you
Thanks,
soon.
Sandra. Thank you. Sandra Sully in the marquee. Well, now, we got drama in the Derby. Some great horses have won this race, of course. Farlap and Tulloch and Dulcify, Mahogany. Who will it be in the year 2000 for the Amy Victoria Derby?
And with it, the expectations of millions. Welcome to a field of dreams. Fabulous Flemington. As the countdown continues to that first Tuesday in November, nerves of steel are needed. Today, the best of the best Racing's Elite has to offer is on the line. From the marquees to the mounting yards, this is a day like no other. This is Derby Day. The contenders, the speed machines, and our champions of the future. This is D-Day.